want to go ahead and get started? Yay. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Brenda Proctor, and I am so excited to welcome each one of you. I'm delighted to welcome each one of you tonight. And oh my gosh, are you guys in for a treat? We are going to have so much fun and learn so much. And it's my honor to introduce you tonight to five very special people who are going to be sharing their stories tonight. So I'm going to kind of give you the lineup, and we don't want to waste any time. We're going to be jumping right in. So our first speaker tonight is going to be Farrell. And after Karen will come Shelly Black, then Ann Shearer, and then finally Dr. Tren Tran, who is a beloved rheumatologist here in the Indianapolis area. Yes, we're so excited. After that, we're going to hear from Elaine Mason, who, in addition to being our beloved leader in our Juice Plus company, but she's also a certified financial planner, and she's going to be closing out our call and sharing a little more about Juice Plus with each one of us. So I just hope that you will sit back and relax and be ready to receive these incredible stories. And so, Karen, please take it away.
All right, thanks, Brenda. So my story is a health journey that began back in 1989 when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I was told it wasn't degenerative, but I kept getting worse. Years later, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroid disease, and it continued from there. Next came interstitial cystitis, then irritable bowel, then Raynaud's, Sjogren's, rheumatoid arthritis, and finally lupus in March of 2016 when I was at my worst in bed most days. Symptomatically, I had extreme fatigue, and I couldn't lift my head up off the pillow. I napped daily, especially if I had something to do in the evening. All activities ended by 3 p.m., and I was generally back in bed by 7 p.m. I had extreme muscle and joint pain. It was like having a flu bug in your entire body 24/7. I had migraines that felt like a knife coming out the top of my head. Was dizzy, nauseated, had hair loss from the lupus. I had sores on my scalp, nose, and mouth, chest pains that resembled a heart attack. I had abdominal issues of diarrhea and constipation. There were electrical shocks in my face and arms. I had edema in my legs, numbness and tingling in my arms, legs, hands, and feet. In the cold, my fingers would turn white, and my feet would turn a purplish blue. When I would step into a tub of water, I couldn't tell if I was stepping into hot or cold. I also had back-to-back UTIs, and I was always on an antibiotic, and I never slept a full night. So I contacted my dear friend, Dr. Tren Tran, who's on the call today, and she readily accepted me into her practice. And we began the process of trying to heal me. We started with 3 different medications, one at a time, and they had potential adverse side effects. They didn't work, so we added the big guns, which was a biologic called Benlysta. And I was on monthly infusions of that drug for 12 months, and then we switched to the subcutaneous shots for 6 months. They made me very sick, took a while to kick in, and I also wasn't able to be around crowds because of a weakened immune system. I have to say the Benlysta helped a little bit, but you know what? 50% is still enough. So I got depressed. The phone stopped ringing. Friends and family would assume that I was sleeping or resting, and 9 times out of 10, they would have been right. And I remember April of 2018, I cried to my husband and I said, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want my life to have meaning again. And I'm tired of being a financial burden, because I was. Well, from my mouth to God's ears, that very next day, Dr. Tran texted me and asked me if I'd heard of a product called Juice Plus. I told her I hadn't. She explained it was just fruits and vegetables in a capsule that healed and protected at the cellular level. It made sense. And who was I to argue with my doctor, let alone my friend? So I went ahead and had her order it for me. 3 days after eating Juice Plus, I didn't take a nap. And I found that very odd. Fast forward 2 weeks, my husband and I were cleaning and purging closets, and I was running around like the Energizer Bunny. And my husband asked me, what has gotten into you? And I told him, I said, it's the Juice Plus. And he said, well, keep taking it because it's working. So I reported this to Dr. Tran, and we had a conversation, and we decided that maybe after the 4-month supply of Juice Plus that we would go off the Benlysta. So she called me at 3.5 weeks in and asked me if I was still feeling better. And I said, you know what? Every day something's getting better. I'm having more energy. The pain's going away. The swelling's going down. I could use my big girl words again. And she said, okay, let's go off the Benlysta now. What? No safety net? But you know what? I took that leap of faith and never looked back. After 2.5 months, Dr. Tran did my vector and lupus panel. And for the first time in 30 years, my numbers were in the normal range. 2 weeks later, my eye doctor reported that my eyes had improved. I'm sorry, eyes don't improve at my age. And at 5 months, my dentist told me that for the first time in all the years I've been going to him, my gums didn't bleed. And after a little over a year, I went off of 9 out of 10 medications. I still take one for thyroid. So after 4 months, I added the Omega blend and my health improved exponentially. So Dr. Tran asked me if I wanted to share the business, and I declined. But when I answered the question, what if she hadn't shared with me, where would I be? The decision was easy. So I decided I'm going to work with a company that saved my life. And that's exactly what I do. I'm on a mission to make the health of others around me better. Juice Plus was my miracle, and I hope it can be yours too. Shelly?
Thank you, Karen. That's always the greatest story. My name's Shelly Black, and I've been taking Juice Plus for 4 years now. And as I go through my story tonight, I just want you to think about the phrase, what if? And I say that because I often think to myself, what if my family hadn't come across this? So it started with my son, Nick. It was a really long backstory, but he was experiencing a lot of pain in his senior year of high school. And it was basically from a baseball injury, but we had been to every doctor you could think of, the orthopedic, chiropractor. We went to pain management, physical therapy, nothing was helping. So we ended up at Emory Hospital in downtown Atlanta and seeing a neurosurgeon. And after several MRIs, they told us that he had something called arachnoiditis. And basically, it's inflammation of the arachnoid membrane that surrounds the nerves that protect your spine. And it was damaged or it was inflamed. We're not 100% sure how it happened, but we were devastated because there's no cure. The only way to handle it is pain management. And we didn't know where to turn at that point because we certainly didn't want him to be on pain medication or even ibuprofen for very long periods of time. So bless my sister's heart, she kept sharing with me over and over, and I just kept thinking to myself, I don't know how fruits and vegetables are going to help my son's very serious diagnosis. But like I said, what if it did? So I had her order it for us, and it was amazing. After about 3 weeks, he would come home from school and lay directly on the couch or go to bed. Laying down is what felt the best, especially after a long day at school and baseball practice. And he may not have noticed it as much as I did, but I could tell such a difference when he came into the house because he was standing up, talking to us and engaging more. And he just could ride in the car for longer periods of time. And it was really amazing. But so he's 22 now, a senior in in college, playing baseball still. And he rarely goes a day without his Juice Plus. And he takes the complete protein powder too, but he's just a true believer because he knows how much it has reduced his inflammation and he takes it every day. And so I'm going to switch now to my story because I'm going to be honest, when I first ordered it for Nick, I really was thinking to myself, I'm not going to take it because I just want him to have it. He needs it. I'm a runner and I thought that I was pretty healthy and I didn't really need it. But little did I know, after I did the research, I decided my husband and I both would take it. And then I was helping a friend train for a marathon, and I was putting in a lot of miles. And I started to get some serious pain behind one of my knees. And so I ended up at the doctor. They did an MRI and told me I had degenerative meniscus, which pretty much meant I just messed up my meniscus pretty bad to where surgery probably wasn't going to help. So they told me I probably should stop running and I need to find another passion. But I've been running my whole life and that was really hard to hear. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to take 8 weeks off of running and I'm going to take double Juice Plus. And by now we had gotten the omegas. So I took all the Juice Plus, fruits, vegetables, berries in the morning and omegas, and the same thing at night. A couple times I took a little extra consistently for the 8 weeks. And then I started running slowly. And can I tell you, I am pain free. Like I've never had any more pain in the back of my knee. It amazingly healed it. And because I never did anything else. I never opted for the surgery. I never even took ibuprofen or any kind of anti-inflammatory. So it's been such a blessing in our lives. And when my husband was actually having some pain in his hands too, and that went away when he started taking it. And sinus infections are pretty much a thing of the past. And I just love sharing the product with people because of the benefits that good nutrition can add to your life are just amazing. So if you're struggling yourself, or you know someone in your family that's having some health related issues, maybe you can say to yourself, what if this could help you like it did us. So thanks. I want to pass it along.
Hi there. My name is Ann Scherer, and I own a wellness center for 15 years. I've been a customer of Juice Plus for 19 years. And I originally got into Juice Plus because my mother was diagnosed with small cell lung cancer. And at that time, I wanted to keep her around, McCry. So I knew that she needed more than just the traditional treatment. So I Googled one day how to balance the immune system. And better than that, I wanted to have whole plant-based nutrition because I knew that she wasn't getting it. And she was so far behind the 8 ball from being, through the chemo and the radiation. So I started her on the green and the red, the garden blend. And she started having more energy and her neuropathy was getting better. And I started to have my mom back again. Well, a little bit into that, we diagnosed her with Hashimoto's. So we doubled up on the Juice Plus and my mom started coming back again. So I know that it was because of the treatment that probably caused it. But at that time, probably about a year later, both of my daughters were diagnosed with thyroid as well. And then because of their symptoms and understanding, I was diagnosed. So I realized it was hereditary, but we all started on the Juice Plus and all started feeling better. Everything just changed in our lives. The kids were doing really well in school. My one daughter was staying in bed a lot prior to taking the Juice Plus. So the whole family was on it. They were on the research program for 2 years at that time. Henceforward, we're all still on it. My mom did pass, but she lasted another 17 years because of Juice Plus. It was the first thing she put in her mouth every day, just like it is for me. I set it on my counter. In 2018, I was told that I had to have a hip replacement, and I did that remarkably well. They couldn't believe how well I came through. I took 0 pain meds. I did double up on the Juice Plus prior to my surgery and after, and I came through it. I think I was back to work after a week. So that was remarkable with 0 pain. My therapist couldn't believe it. They canceled me after a week. So fast forward, we're all still on the product. In October of this past year, I was lightheaded. I had been sick. We won't make any reference to why, but I lost my balance and I crashed into my wall in my house outside. So I hit the concrete and I had a massive concussion and split my head open. Well, at that time, I was only on the garden blend. So I was talking to Elaine one day and she had mentioned being on the omegas, and another friend of mine who was on the omegas that I had actually introduced Juice Plus to said, you need to get on the omegas, because I wasn't able to finish my sentences, and I teach and I do workshops. So it was very difficult to articulate my words. So I started the omegas, and literally 2 weeks later, I noticed a difference in my speech and everything seemed to be coming back. I also started the berry blend, and that really made a huge difference as well, the two in combination. So now I'm on the quad. And all of a sudden I'm realizing, wow, I'm losing weight. I'm feeling good again. I'm out there exercising. I lost 25 pounds. Life is good. So I would have to say that I'm so thankful that Juice Plus has all 4 of these wonderful products, because for me, it was life-changing. I also look at all of us on here and our faces. I know some of your ages and I know mine. I just had my 59th birthday yesterday. And I think when I look in the mirror, I'm very happy at the way I look. And I know Juice Plus has a lot to do with that. But I will say it's been a lifesaver for me. I won't go a day without it. So I hope you guys look at your plant-based nutrition, because that really is what we need. We don't get enough of any of it. And all of those fruits and vegetables together just make a huge difference in all of our lives. So if you're listening, I think it's the most amazing thing. There's so many supplements out there, but the whole food plant-based nutrition is what absorbs in the body. You get it all. So I take mine on an empty stomach in the morning and I feel fantastic. Better than I ever have. Thank you. And who's next? I know there's someone after me.
I think it is my
There you
turn.
go.
So my name is Tren. I'm a rheumatologist in Indiana. And, whenever I'm asked to share my story, I get very excited, and I wanted to tell all the stories that I know about Juice Plus. And but tonight, because of the limit of time, I won't be able to tell you all about this, my experience with Juice Plus. So I'm going to sum up what Juice Plus has done for me, for my parents, and for my patients. Personally, for me, Juice Plus has literally eliminated the migraine headaches that I've been experiencing every single day since I was a teenager. And 5 days after I took Juice Plus, it was gone. I no longer drink coffee to stop the migraine from coming back. And then 2 weeks after starting the Juice Plus, my fatigue was overturned. And so now I have energy to continue working, and sometimes until midnight, a lot of the time. But anyway, so that is my experience with Juice Plus. For my parents, my dad is now 84. My mom is 78. If it wasn't for the Juice Plus, they would not be able to make a hike 1 mile up and down the districts in England. You know how England is? It's very hilly. And my parents are able to do a 1 mile hike just a few months ago. So my mom's diabetes improved, my dad's gout improved. In fact, he got off his gout medication completely without flare for gouts, whereas he wasn't able to do that before. Before the Juice Plus, he had flares of the gout, even when he was on strict diet. And so there's no way he could walk because of the chronic gout in his toes. There was no way he could walk a mile. But now, whenever he goes on vacation, he would take a hike. In terms of my patients, I have so many stories to tell, but as a physician, I was not taught nutrition in medical school. I was taught very basic knowledge about what vitamins are, what the cofactors and coenzymes are, what the Krebs cycle is, very fragmented information pieces, and nothing really was put together. I have to learn about nutrition basically through life experiences, through my health experience, and through my patients. And my patients are my greatest teachers. So I've learned a lot from their health journeys. And one of the greatest lesson that has the most impact in my career is the lessons about Juice Plus. it literally changed the way I practice rheumatology. And I learned it from a patient of mine who had severe lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, overweight, always tired, fatigued, could not walk 1 or 2 blocks. Initially, when she first came to see me, but with Juice Plus, and the Juice Plus actually showed her the importance of nutrients from fruit and vegetables. So she changed her diet from eating McDonald's and drinking Coke to a very lean, organic diet. And after 9 months of being on the Juice Plus and the clean diet, she got off all 4 medications that I used to treat her lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. Previously, she could not get off even 1 medication without flaring. So she told me about the Juice Plus, and my health journey with Juice Plus started there. But since then, I've learned a lot about nutrition through Juice Plus, and I really advise every single one of my patients to make nutrition their first line treatment. And I have seen amazing transformation. And Karen is one of my many other patients who really went off all their meds and stayed in remission. Before Juice Plus, I never thought that I would be able to discharge a patient because they are in remission. And with Juice Plus, I have been able to discharge patients from my clinic because they are in remission. They don't need me anymore. So that's amazing. And for a long time, we don't know much about the nutrient in the juice, in the fruits and the vegetables. We have very limited knowledge, and we don't know what they do for our health. But luckily, we have a product like Juice Plus with an amazing company and vast amount of research behind the products to show us what it could do to our body. So, I mean, the phytonutrients from fruits and vegetables are very important for our cellular health. They are like the nuts and bolts that hold the house together. They are like the policeman who guard the genes. They are like the gatekeeper that keep all the illnesses away. So without the phytonutrients from fruit and vegetables, our cells become sick. You will not be able to run the Krebs cycle that produce the energy unit ATPs, right? So, but with the phytonutrients, your cells will become very healthy, and your cells make up the organs. So if your cells are healthy, your organs are going to be healthy. Your body is made up of organs, and therefore, if your organs are healthy, you are going to feel healthy, and you will feel lots of energy, you have really good function, and you feel happy. So, I can't say, enough about the benefits of Juice Plus. And through the research, we know that it helps our cardiovascular health, it helps our brain health, it helps to reduce inflammation, it helps to reduce blood pressure. And I'm sure if we do the study about liver health and renal health and skin health, well, we actually had a study about skin health, so we know that it improves the skin health and people look younger. I look at Elaine and Brenda, and I couldn't believe the age that they say they are, and so it is amazing. And I see that in my patients also. So, if you have friends and families who have not tried the Juice Plus yet, I would really encourage you all to give it a try. And I have patients who do not stick to it. And they would say to me, I try it. I've been on it a month. I don't feel anything. Well, you will not feel anything in a month. And so it's, you know, I've learned somewhere that if you have toxins in your body and you are exposed to that toxin for 10 years, it will take you 1 whole year to detox. So it's not going to take you a month to completely recover if you've been on a bad diet for 20 years. It will take months, or it can even take up to a year or 2 years for you to regain your optimal health. So, yeah, so that, so I think, you know, if you just give it a try, and quietly, you know, those phytonutrients are doing all they can do to keep your health, at the optimal health that you would want it to be. It can help you to heal, and go into remission. So I think that is where I'm going to stop, and I wish you all the best of health. And I'm happy to answer any questions at the end if you have questions for me.
Oh, wow. I don't know about you all, but I have goosebumps right now. And thank you, Dr. Tren, for just taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with us. And for Shelly and Ann and Karen, it just gets me, my heart is full hearing just the impact that Juice Plus has had on everyone who shared this evening. I'm going to kind of just wrap things up this evening with some of you may have been like, okay, I jumped on because someone invited me, but I'm not quite sure what Juice Plus is. And so what I'm going to do is just take a few minutes and give you, if I can get my screen pulled up here, just a little bit of background of what Juice Plus is. Because you're hearing everyone mention it. So let's take a look at it. So Juice Plus is the nutrition of 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries. It's a whole food that's been harvested at the peak of ripeness so that the nutrition is still intact. Probably unlike what we were picking up, I know, at the grocery store. The produce is pulverized, not just juice. So it's kind of like shredded. So you're not only getting juice, but you're getting the pulp and the skin and everything in that particular fruit or vegetable. And then it's dried at low temperatures so that it preserves the nutrition. The plant powders are then put into capsule and gummy format. And then you've heard several people mention the Omega blend. And, I have my own story about once I've been on Juice Plus now for 22 years. I will not go a day without it. And everyone I love, I make sure they're taking it as well. But Juice Plus Omega blend came about 3 to 4 years ago. And I just saw my health come to a whole nother level, kind of similar to what Shelly was talking about, many years of running and the wear and tear on my knees. And I began to see the Omegas repair that. And the beautiful thing about our Omega blend is that it is whole food. It skips the fish, goes straight to the algae. So, for years before Juice Plus came out with their Omega blend, I went back and forth. Do I take an Omega blend? Do I not? Because I worried about toxicity and rancidity in the Omegas. And that was eliminated because of the way Juice Plus's Omega blend was formulated. So here's a good view of what we call our trio blend, the fruit, the vegetable, and the berry blend. And if you can just look at those 30 different fruits and vegetables and berries that are in our trio blend. Recently, I listened to a doctor talking about the different, what he was doing was measuring the impact that a particular vegetable or fruit would have on a cancer cell. And so he was looking at kidney cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer. And his whole point was the value of the broad array of fruits and vegetables, because depending on what type of cancer cell, different fruits and vegetables attack those particular cancer cells differently. So he said, what you want to make sure you're doing is getting a wide variety. So some of you may be on here saying, I eat a clean diet, which is awesome. But the question is, are you getting that wide variety that this doctor kept stressing how important, depending on, the different diseases that we are facing today and in the modern world that we live in, and the value of Juice Plus by every single day getting 30, 40 raw fruits, vine ripened fruits and vegetables in your body. That's why we're seeing, and you're hearing these incredible stories that you're hearing tonight. So that's the Trio blend, the fruit, the vegetable, and the berry. And then again, as I mentioned earlier, then we're adding another 6 different oils, the plant-based oils that really have an impact on the heart, the brain, the joints, the skin, the eyes. I wish, like Dr. Tren was saying, I wish that we had another hour. Being a Juice Plus representative now for going on 23 years, I could go one story after another, of the impact on the heart, the brain, the joints, the skin. As I'm reading those, customers are coming in my mind of the impact that Juice Plus has had on them. So powerful, powerful products. But what makes Juice Plus unique? A lot of times, as long as I've been doing this, I'll have people say, well, Lane, this is the latest and the greatest. What about this? What about that? And I always take a look at anything that anybody shares with me. And I absolutely love what Dr. Bill Sears, who's known as America's pediatrician, he always says, the first thing you want to do is, number one, is that particular supplement bioavailable? Does it have research to say your body can absorb it? And you know what? I've yet to have anybody present a product in front of me, and none of them have had bioavailability. And that's where it starts. Can your body even absorb it? And that's the beautiful thing about Juice Plus being whole food. If you look on the back of those bottles, it is a nutrition label, not a supplement label. And consequently, your cells know how to absorb it because it recognizes it as food. When you're taking a supplement, a man-made, isolated, fragmented supplement, your body treats it like a toxin. So it's working hard, which is why if you take a vitamin supplement, you're going to see it. You're going to see it when you go to the bathroom. And so that's one of the beautiful things about Juice Plus is your body's able to absorb it. The other thing that Dr. Bill Sears said, you want to make sure your body can absorb it. And then next, you want to make sure it gets on a cellular level, your cells, your DNA can impact your DNA and your cells on a cellular level. And that went right back to what Dr. Tren was saying. This isn't like taking some kind of supplement that we're trying to impact a symptom. What Juice Plus does, what it's doing is changing your cells. One of our studies, it talks about 1,600 of our genes, actually the good genes are turned on, the bad genes are turned off. That takes time. That's not going to happen. It's that 4-month time frame for your cells to change over. So Juice Plus, I'm sorry, it gets me excited talking about. As I'm sharing, it just validates what the stories that you've heard. But Juice Plus is whole food. It has a food label. It's non-GMO, vegan, kosher, non-dairy, gluten-free. It's NSF certified, third party. We are a nutraceutical. we're food. So the FDA, we welcome the FDA in, we welcome this NSF certification. And that's the certification that our professional athletes, our Olympians need to have to be able to take it. So that what we're saying is on the label is actually in the product, and nothing's in there that shouldn't be in there. That's what our professional athletes need and those Olympians need. And then lastly, it's the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. Over 35 plus, to date it's 43, I believe is the final count, peer-reviewed, published. You know, the other day I had someone call and say, well, what about this product? It has 3 studies. So I'm like, all right, I'll look at it. 2 of them were done on rats, throw that out. And the one that was a human done on humans, when I looked at it, they had quadruple the intake of that product to get some kind of result. And it wasn't even significant enough for any publication to pick it up. So that, and then when I look at what Juice Plus has, we probably have, I think, about 15 more studies in the works that I can't wait. One of them is an anti-aging study. I mean, I cannot wait to see these new studies coming down the pike to add to the 43 that we already have. Here's a list of all the different universities and medical centers that have studied Juice Plus. And I love the fact that Juice Plus is the gold standard. It's randomized, double-blind, placebo, tested on the product itself, human clinical trials, published in peer-reviewed journals, and it's done in an ethical way. There's just nothing out there like that. Nothing out there. And I love to draw your attention to the Wake Forest study. If you look there, NIAH, actually the government is funding that study. I think my understanding that is the first time ever they funded a nutraceutical, fruits and vegetables. So there is nothing out there that can compare to this kind of research done on a product like Juice Plus. So what is our research saying? It contributes to cardiovascular wellness, to a healthy inflammatory response, to quality of life. It supports healthy cholesterol, LDL, triglycerides. It supports lung function, skin and gums. Hello, slowing down that aging process. Who wants that? Helps maintain a healthy DNA. One of the first studies that was done on Juice Plus, it reduces DNA damage by 75%. Reduces oxidative stress, and then it's absorbed by the body, which goes back to what Dr. Bill Sears was saying. If you can't ensure that your body's able to absorb it, there's no sense in taking it. And I love what Dr. Richard Du Bois has said. There's nothing else available any place in the world, with or without a prescription, that's been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. Wow. Wow. So let me stop for a minute and just invite you. You've heard some amazing stories from some beautiful people who shared their heart with you. And so I want to, at a minimum, if you're not taking Juice Plus right now, we want to invite you to become a Juice Plus customer and to get back with the person who invited you and say, how do I get my hands on this? If it were me, I'd be calling them tonight saying, before mine gets in the mail, can I come over and pick some up from you? That's how much I believe in Juice Plus. But maybe you're sitting there thinking, my mom needs this, my dad needs this, my kids need this, my aunt, my uncle, my neighbor, my friend. And you can probably think of 5 people right now who need Juice Plus. If names are going off in your head, we invite you to join us, to become a health warrior and become a partner with us on this journey of sharing whole food nutrition. But maybe you're sitting there and maybe you've got a big piece of paper and you've got names. You're beyond 3 or 4 people. You're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And maybe you're looking for a way to create residual income, extra income. And if that's you, we invite you to step in and lean into and join this Juice Plus company. Our business model is just as unique as our product is. It's a $52 annual fee. You can work from anywhere. And what we've been through over the last 2 years, we are accustomed to working anywhere, and it's nice. It's a small product line. Fruits and vegetables pretty much cover the gamut of what we need. So it's not like you have to know 200 different products. It's a consumable product. People need it. They're consuming it every single month. It creates a supplemental income stream. And my background is I'm a certified financial planner, and working with high wealth individuals, what I realized is you've got to figure out how to create a residual income. A job will cover your bills, but to build wealth, every single one of my high wealth clients had figured out how to create a residual income. And immediately when I fell in love with the Juice Plus product, I began to look at the business behind it. And I saw, wow, this is a way to create residual income. You know, if I don't know of a better way, if you're in your 50s and suddenly you're like, oh my goodness, we really haven't planned for retirement. This is an incredible way to do just that. There's no inventory, so you don't need an extra building to house all this stuff. It's shipped directly from the Juice Plus company to the client, the customer. Low overhead. My expenses are about what they were 20 years ago. You're well supported with business websites and all kinds of support. The people you see on this call, we lock arms together and work together as a team, and everyone's always willing to help each other. And commissions are permanent. We understand life happens. If you've got to step away and say, you know what, I've worked on my Juice Plus business, I've built it, but right now I have to step away, that is okay. When you're ready to come back, you don't lose where you walked away at. You come back at that same commission level. And then I've saved the best for last. If you see that upper leadership levels, then the blue you see here, the business investment bonus, and then also a benefits package. I don't know of another direct selling company that will provide a benefits package for their the people in their company. It provides, once you hit the national marketing director level, you have these benefits: medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, life insurance, long-term disability, chiropractic care, family tuition. I loved going out to my mailbox. I would send them, my girls have 2 daughters. I'd send them their grades, and a couple of weeks later, I'd get a check back, a tuition reimbursement back. Love that. And every month I get a $3,000 expense allowance that I can invest back into my business. That is a beautiful benefits package that would rival any corporate benefits package. And so if you're looking at that, number 3, want to earn an extra income stream, whether it be just a side hustle, or like me, I had quit my job. We'd lost 50% of our income, and I wanted to replace my full-time income. I invite you in one of those levels, join us, lock arms with us. So many people out there need to hear the good news about Juice Plus and these stories of hope. And Juice Plus provides hope, whether it be from a health standpoint or a financial standpoint. We have an incredible solution to some of our modern day challenges that we face. And so I invite you to get back to the person who joined you this evening. Ask any questions. We'll hang out a little bit here at the end. And thank you, Dr. Tren, for just being willing to answer questions. We'll all be here. Feel free to jump off if you need to, but if you want to hang out a little longer, we invite you to do so. Thank you for joining us this evening.